Hey, what's up everybody, welcome back. So in today's video I want to go over with the new best, honestly that's gonna be the best support DPS build as of right now that I think of in the game. So ongoing directive gotta change that. It's making this gear set the go-to countdown build for most people, right? Because it gives not only you, also it gives your teammates a lot of damage, amplified damage, to help us build the countdown, especially on those heroic difficulty. Now the focus on this build today is going to be for group plays, because this is where this gear set will shine, even though you can still use it on a solo scenario, right? So let's go over this, right? So ongoing directive, with 2 pieces you get 15% status effect, with 3 pieces you get 30% reload speed. The 4th piece is where these things will shine, right? So rules of engagement, so shooting a status effect enemy will apply a mark. Killing a marked enemy grants a full clip of hollow point to your active weapon and half of that clip to the rest of your party. So everybody on your team will get half of the clip with hollow point. Now the mark will last for 10 seconds, and also this hollow point will amplify the weapon damage by 20% and applies bleed on hit. So everybody that has this hollow point will have that on their weapon. So before this title update 16, we didn't have that, right? We only had hollow point for ourselves, the user of the ongoing directive, which was yourself. So ongoing directive was kind of good, but now honestly I think it's even better for us group play, because you're gonna share the damage. You're gonna be supporting your teammates with more damage. 20% amplified damage, that's really a good amount of damage to support your teammates. So I feel like I'm gonna have this build always when I want to go to countdown, or maybe the raid, or even the legendaries to support my teammates. Now with the chest piece though, you have the extra talent, right? The extra talent in here is gonna be parabellum rounds, which increase a hollow point ammo weapon damage amplification to a 35%. But this damage increase will only be to your weapon, so this bonus does not apply to party members. So that 35% is going to be the hollow point that's going to come to you, and then your teammates will only get that 20% amplified damage. And last but not least, for the backpack talent, right, which is the second talent, we have the trauma specialist. So increase the duration of your bleed status effect by 50% and all bleed damage done by 100%. Now this backpack requires the rule of engagement, which is the 4th talent of the brand set itself. So you need to have 4 of these equipped, not just the backpack, for these to work. So with that said, this backpack we're not gonna be using it, either the backpack, neither the chest piece, which I will explain in a minute. Now as you see, all of the pieces in this build have weapon damage as a core attribute, and then on the pieces of the ongoing directive I have most of them with crit chance on attribute, and only the glove will have attribute crit damage. Now as I said, I'm not using either the backpack or the chest piece for few reasons, and let me explain why. So starting with the chest piece, we are going with the Ferris Group AB. This will give us a 10% assault rifle damage, and we are gonna be main weapon the assault rifle, which is gonna be the carbine 7. So with the Ferris Group AB chest piece, we're gonna have the talent obliterated. Now this is gonna be a talent that will increase your total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 25 times, which means a 25% weapon damage increase, and this is an additive damage, right? So with that said, a lot of you guys started questioning and saying why not use the ongoing directive, which is another 15% that's gonna add up to that hollow point, right? 15% amplified damage would be better than this chest piece right here. So I'll show you on the fire range. Okay, we are here in the fire range. We have this unnamed. We have it on 5 meters. We already activated the hollow point on our AR, which is the carbine 7. Now let's shoot this target, and you see we can get that talent obliterated quite fast, right? So there is no really not a reason not to use it. Now let's shoot on the head a few times. You see we are critting for 752,000. Now with that said, let's check the stats. So this is the build, right? The stats of this build on this carbine 7, we have 54.4 crit chance, 116.2 crit damage, right? And then this is gonna be damage right here, assault rifle damage, that right there. And then we're gonna do is go on the chest piece, switch to this ongoing directive, right? So we have that 35%, and then we're gonna put this right here. So basically we swap them around, but we're gonna have about the same stats. So 54, I just show you, 116 right there, and then this is gonna be the damage. So same build, right? Kind of, but without the with different talents. Now let's see. So let's shoot this. We don't have to increase because we don't have the talent, and we're gonna crit on the head. You see how much is the crit? 698,000. So it's a lot less compared to what we were doing with our obliterated. Now for even a more clear view, I'm gonna throw right now on the screen a sheet that shows the difference between having the chest piece and having the another chest piece with obliterated, right? So with that said, I'll have this on the screen for you guys to see the difference between the numbers, and yeah, we can go from there. I had to show you guys the numbers in game because some people might not believe it. So those are the numbers that I just showed you in game. So with that said, going back to the build, so if you want to run with the best damage, right, this is going to be the best option to do it. With that said, moving for the backpack, we are using a Walcott Harris & Co. with that 5% weapon damage bonus in here. Now this brand set can be something else. You could go with the Grupo Sombra. I just don't have a good Grupo Sombra with that Wicked. I have this one, but it's not exactly the best. It has headshot damage. I don't mind it, but I want to go all crit damage, right? So Wicked is a talent that will activate once you apply a status effect on your enemy. And remember, we're gonna have the hollow point for the most of the time, like 90% of the time we'll have the hollow point. Shoot enemies, they will get on bleed, so we'll activate the Wicked, and then Wicked will increase our weapon damage by 18% for 20 seconds. So going for the weapons, we are using the carbine 7. Now this is one of the fan favorites assault rifles. It's a very good assault rifle. I do love it also. It's a very good, but it's not the best one, and I'll give you the best one option. The best option will be the FAMAS, right? This one is going to be the best option for the highest DPS, but the carbine 7 is not going to be bad. It's going to be right there doing almost the same DPS. So that's why actually I wanted to use and show you guys with the carbine 7 the gameplays and stuff like that. Now the most important on any of these assault rifles, right, is going to be having the attribute damage to target out of cover, and also the talent Sadist. So Sadist will grant you 20% weapon damage to bleeding enemies, and we're gonna have our enemies almost all the time on bleed. So that's why we need the Sadist in here. The way I'll mod these weapons are gonna be almost the same. So I'll have that 5% crit chance on the scope, a plus 20 rounds on the magazine, a 5% crit chance on the underbarrel, and then another 5% crit chance on the muzzle. Secondary doesn't really matter in here. I do have the blue screen just because I'm trying to level her up on the proficiency rank, but also the blue screen is not a bad option for ongoing directive overall, because it does have a status effect that applies to the enemy. So we have a way of applying status effect, and if you kill that status effect enemy, well, we're gonna start the build, you know, with the hollow points and Wicked and everything else. Now speaking of activating the build, right, I have the Stinger Hive in here just for that. Now I do use it in case here and there, but the main objective of this skill, the Sting Hive on my build is to activate the build. So when I start the build, I throw the Sting Hive out there, see whichever enemy is the weakest and gets on bleed, and then I shoot it, kill it, and then I have the hollow point, and that's it. I activate the build and I go from there. The second skill doesn't really matter. I have the Fixer Drone. Some people might choose to go with the Crusader Basic Shield. You could do that too. I just prefer having a Fixer Drone in here for now. The specialization I chose to go with is the Gunner. So what this build is lacking of, right? It's survivability. So with the Gunner, you kind of get a little bit of survivability with this talent right here. Killing enemies grants a 10% armor on kill, so that kind of helps out, but also it's not that bad on the Gunner. So we have the talent right here, which is the Barrage. Rate of fire increased by 5% on kills for 5 seconds, and also there is this one right here, which is every third reload is 50% faster. So basically that's it for the build, guys. That's what I have for this ongoing directive. It works really great on the countdown heroic difficulty, because keep in mind, any build that you're using right now on heroic difficulty on countdown, they gonna feel like a little bit doing less damage, but they are not, because keep in mind the NPCs on heroic will be a little bit more tankier than what we used to on the challenging countdown. So just keep that in mind. But this build will shred. I played this on solo and I played this on countdown, which is a group play, right? So this build will be my go-to build when I want to help my teammates with some damage, and I believe a lot of people will run this. So you have DPS and also you have damage sharing to your teammates. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this build. Are you running the ongoing directive? Let me know your version of ongoing directive. I know some people will go mostly status effect. That's not the focus of my build, but I will work on the status effect also version of the ongoing directive for a future build video. So let me know all of that in the comment section below. I'll leave you guys with some gameplay and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out, everybody.